The year 2020 will go down in history as somewhat erased when it comes to events in most parts of the world. 3 major events in the St. George area of southwest Utah have been canceled or postponed due to the potential spread of COVID-19. One of the major events rescheduled was IRONMAN's 70.3 North American Championship.
The folks at IRONMAN just looked at all of the complications and variables and said, you know what, we need to forego this year. So what we're doing is just taking the 5-year agreement and pushing it forward 1 year. So 2020 is just sort of erased. I call it a gap year. And we'll start the contract in 2021 and go through 2025.
Another, which was rescheduled and now canceled, is the St. George Marathon, which would have been in its 44th year.
It's just become such a worldwide large event. It's a top 20 marathon, and it takes a great deal of planning and a lot of work to do it. We had just under 6,000 registered, and it takes about 2,500 volunteers. And at the end of the day, it's those same citizens who we love and care for that just made it feel like we couldn't go on, because their safety and our concern for them is for first and foremost. And there are some real obstacles associated with bringing an event of that magnitude here and doing it safely.
But perhaps the biggest impact to the economy is the gap this year of the Huntsman World Senior Games, which brings in senior athlete competitors from all over the world to compete and stay here for 2 weeks.
Our athletes are a high-risk group. Our volunteers are a high-risk group. You know, the community is still trying to figure out what this means to us as a community, and bringing in people from outside the area was a concern. And the venues, it went on, and by the time we reached the date that we had set for ourselves to decide if we could move forward or not, it just felt like we wouldn't be able to do it. It's a timeout is what we're calling it. And we as an organization are going to regroup, and we're already planning for 2021, putting together ideas and schedules and things that we can do that will just make it the biggest and the best ever.
The impact of these 3 events will be huge to the local tourism economy.
IRONMAN's about a $7 million economic impact. That brings in that much money into our economy. The marathon's about $4 million, and the Huntsman World Senior Games over the course of that 2 weeks brings about $17 million. So add that up, that's a lot of dollars that we're losing.
However, Greater Zion tourism isn't giving up that easy. The Washington County Tourism Planning Team has developed advertising hoping to bring in regional tourists through Find Your Space, and they hope that locals will also plan staycations.
We are marketing, we're trying to send the message out that, hey, we've got space here, and our campaign is to find your space. And that's the whole idea, is you can come here to a place where we've got lots of room to spread out. You can see beautiful country, you can clear out your mind and rejuvenate and re-energize and refresh. Take a staycation, go spend a weekend in Springdale or midweek, even better. The locals can get out to restaurants, they can use the guide and outfitter services that are here, go climb, do some canyoneering or rock climbing or something, use one of those guide services.
Washington County commissioners recently passed a plan allowing COVID funding to clean restrooms in the Kolob area of Zion National Park to keep the park open and flowing.
The Park Service just shut that down. Well, so we've been talking with them and working to get those open again through a contract that the county will make through some private service providers to come in and take care of the restrooms and the facilities in those 2 areas. And hopefully in the next week or so we can get those 2 things back open again, which will give people more places that they can access and have a better experience while they're there.
Organizers of these events are hoping that 2021 will bring tourism back to the county so businesses impacted can stay afloat. In Washington County, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.